What's up, guys? So today I'm doing a trade recap. A lot of people have been asking me for it, and yeah, this is one of my first trade recaps. I'm gonna go show you guys some of the trades that I took today. Today is currently October 2nd, Wednesday, October 2nd, and I'm just going to show you guys the trades that I took. I'm on a 12-day win streak, so I think it's about time I start showing you guys some of the trades. So let's get right into it. So first off, I'll show you the P&L statement. I'm actually just sharing half of my screen just because I have a 49-inch monitor, so I wouldn't be able to, it's going to compress my screen if I show you the whole thing. But yeah, so today I took about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trades. A lot of people always say you should only take 1, 2 trades a day max, but I'm actually a very aggressive trader. I think my strategy works best when I take multiple trades. And all these parentheses, these numbers with parentheses, are the P&L for trades that I lost. So I actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losing trades. These don't really count, they're like $1. But technically I had 6 losing trades today, and I had 1, 2, three winning trades, and that's it. So 6 losing trades, 3 winning trades, and my P&L for the day was $1,986, so roughly $2,000. And the reason I made so much money, my winners are very big, and my losers are obviously very small. My win rate varies day to day. It can be 60% one day, 70% one day. Some days it's 30%, 40%, 20%. Doesn't matter. It's because my winning trades are much larger than my losing trades, as you can see. So let's get straight into the review. By the way, if you guys, I'm going to be going and using some terminology you may not understand. So make sure to go watch my other educational videos on my YouTube channel to get a better understanding. But I'm going to kind of try to keep this as simple and straightforward as possible. So yeah, I'm going to be going over 2 of my biggest winners. This $1,600 trade, this $570 trade, and I'm also going to be going over this $150 loss. So let's start it off with the main one, the big winner of the day. The symbol was HUM. So by the way, every single day I trade different stocks. I don't trade the same stocks every single day. Every morning I scan for new stocks, and I do this by looking at the daily chart and looking at stocks that moved in price overnight. So this chart right here is the daily chart. Each candlestick represents price action over one day. So I usually like to start off by looking at the daily chart. So when looking at this, the previous past few days, it was kind of in the downtrend the past few weeks. And then yesterday, it moved down a lot. Now, this morning, before the market opened, I actually saw that it was opening down here at around $219.13. So this thing moved down in price a lot overnight. Now, this is something I like to call a mega gap. When something gaps down in price, a lot, it's gapping away from all of the previous price action. And in times like this, you can either play this, trade the stock as a long or a short. So we just look for a setup. But whenever it gaps down this much, this amount, when it gaps down so much far away from the previous days or weeks price action, we can expect this thing to bounce up a little bit. So now I actually took this very, early in the morning, probably 10 minutes into the market open, and I was mainly using the 1 and the 2 minute chart when I first got into it. So if you guys make sure to go watch my other videos. But yeah, I basically saw a base breakout. So the market opened, it was kind of moving sideways on the 1 and the 2 minute chart, as you can see. And then I decided to enter this as a base breakdown. Before, I even found the setup, I had a kind of a mental bias that this thing was going to move up in price. Now it's just a matter of fact of finding an entry and a stop loss and a take profit. So I actually saw this, and I saw it was kind of consolidating. So I thought to myself, okay, once it breaks this little resistance line that it's making right here on the 2 minute and the 1 minute chart, I can look to enter this trade. So you can see on all the time frames, the 1, the 2, the 5, there was kind of a consolidation. So I decided to enter once it broke this consolidation, roughly around $222 and 50 cents around there. And my stop loss was pretty tight. It was a pretty tight stop. I used roughly 216.35 as my stop. I used a pretty tight stop on this thing, and I risked $400 a trade. So what I did here, if you guys don't know already how to calculate how many shares you should get, go watch that video. But yeah, I calculated my share size, which is basically entry price 222.85 minus stop loss price 216.35. You find the difference between the entry and the stop loss, and then you do your dollar risk. So I risked $400 divided by this size of the stop. So then I calculated my share size. I entered above this consolidation, and it ended up moving up and actually formed kind of like a 1, 2, 3 pattern. So I even added to this thing right here a little bit. It was kind of forming, another 1, 2, 3 pattern. And then, yeah, it just moved higher. I think I got around 130 shares around there. So that means every time it moves up $1, I would make $130. And then, yeah, this thing from my entry price moved from 222 to roughly 239.75. I obviously didn't take it at these highs, but I was using the 2-minute chart to exit. And then once I was up roughly 4 Rs, I have a rule in my trading plan. Once I'm up 4 Rs, I need to start protecting my profits. So I did bar by bar management, which basically means I raise my stop loss to the low of every new bar. So at this point right here, my stop loss on the 2-minute chart was, don't know, it's not letting me press it, but it was around right here. Then this next candlestick formed, so I raised my stop to right here. This next candlestick formed, I raised my stop to right here. And then when this candlestick ended up closing and this one moved down, I killed half of my position, ended up moving up a little bit more after that, and then I think I took the rest of it down here. So I ended up with about a 4-hour trade. Maybe a little confusing for you guys if you don't really understand the terminology, but yeah, this was basically a simple gap. I liked this thing as a long because I really liked that it gapped down a lot, and it was a mega gap, and I expected the gap to get filled. I expected it to bounce, and then I just did a simple entry and stop loss. Entry above the consolidation, above this resistance, stop loss below it, and then yeah, ended up following through. Later on in the day, I actually had another setup, had another buy setup here, but I ended up passing on it, ended up moving much higher, but I'm pretty happy with my entry and exit. I think I managed this pretty well, and it was about a 4-hour trade. My second winner of the day was about a 1.5-hour trade. It was right off the open. I actually used this tool called the order flow. I may even do some live trading recordings and post them. I usually just do it for my mentorship students, but yeah, I use this tool, the order flow. It basically tells me in real time how many buying and selling orders there are. So on this thing, I was watching it on the 1 and the 2-minute chart, and it was right off the open, probably the first few minutes of the morning. It had a base breakout pattern, I believe right over here. I missed this initial move, but as you guys can see, there's a rising 20-day period moving average. It was forming like a little buy setup. It was basing, formed a little base breakout pattern. 20 May looked good, and then I also saw there was igniting volume, so I expected this thing to move higher. I kind of hopped in a little bit. I had my entry above this consolidation at around $3.02, and my stop loss at about under this pivot. Yeah, I had my stop loss down here. I probably could have used a tighter stop, could have been a little more aggressive, but that's all right. So yeah, my stop was about 8-cent stop, and then this thing ended up popping all the way up to $3.18. I was actually undersized a little bit. I miscalculated my shares, so I was a little undersized, But yeah, this thing ended up moving up, and then I remember that I trailed it 1 minute bar by bar. So same thing like the last one, bar by bar management basically means every time a new bar forms, I raise my stop loss to the bottom of that bar. So because it's really early in the morning, I'm really using the 1 minute time frame. Throughout the day, I start shifting my focus to the 2 minute, then the 5 minute, then the 15 minute. I'm always looking at all of them, but my main focus at this point of the day, when it was this early in the morning, was on the 1 minute chart. So I had my stop loss, I was in it. I raised my stop to here, and then I raised my stop to this new bar's low, um, and then I raised my stop to this new bar's low, and then basically once this bar uh, finished forming, this bar started coming in, and I killed it right here around 316. I was a little undersized, but still a $570 trade. I'll take it. Very similar to the last one, but with this LX, I really like this thing because it was gapping up a lot the past few days, and once again today it gapped up to $3.99, and it just seems so bullish, had a lot of bullish momentum. It was also gapping to new all-time highs, so it was clearing this level of resistance on the daily chart, and whenever it clears a level of resistance, it's usually bullish, because if you can imagine, anyone who was in this position as a short, maybe there's some people who had their stop loss at all-time high because they believe this thing's going to go lower. So if they had their stop loss at all-time high and it gapped above that all-time high, that means everyone who was in this position got stopped out and their sell orders got bought, and that's what probably caused this thing to pop right off the open. So kind of a simple trade. It was kind of like a quick scalp, nothing special. Probably could have managed it better, probably should have gotten more position size. I didn't have that many shares, but still a nice trade. And then my main loser today was the RLX. In the morning, I saw it was moving down a lot. It looked good on the order flow, and then I just got some slippage. I got in around $1.79. I was riding it. I took my eyes off it. I think I was in the HUM at the time, and then it flipped, and I lost $150. But yeah, it was more of like a scalp that just randomly flipped on me, which is fine. But yeah, that's kind of the trade recap for today, guys. I will say it's probably, what I'm talking about is a little confusing if you haven't already watched all of my other videos. So I suggest that you do that. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to start posting these more often. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions on the trade recaps, if you want me to talk about anything else or go a little more into depth. I'm kind of just, speeding through the trades that I took today, but if you want me to, change anything or make any other types of videos, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any, specific trading related questions, feel free to message me on Instagram and I'll respond to you. But yeah, that's the trade recap for October 2nd, 2024. Made about $2,000 today. Pretty good day. I think I'm up around $4,000 on the week. So I'm hoping I finish strong this week. And yeah, that's the trade recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one.